heart of Igbo land, tradition is not merely remembered, it is lived. It is the invisible hand that holds each generation, shaping identity, behavior, and community. From the first cry of a newborn to the celebration of union and legacy, the Igbo people walk a well-lit path, designed not only to guide, but to equip. These cultural practices are more than rituals. They are blueprints, tested and passed down for navigating the complex journey of life. This is not just heritage, this is the Igbo way. The journey of life in Igbo tradition begins not only with birth, but with recognition, a ceremony that affirms existence and anchors the child within the spiritual and communal fabric of the people. A child's journey begins with a naming ceremony. In Igbo culture, a name is not randomly chosen. It is revealed. It tells a story. It binds the child to ancestry, reflects circumstances of birth, or speaks prophetic hope into the future. Through the naming ceremony, the child is introduced to the Ndiichie, the ancestors, who are invited to guide, protect, and witness the journey ahead. It is also the child's formal introduction to society, a moment where the community acknowledges responsibility to raise and protect one of its own. In a land where individual identity is inseparable from communal belonging, no child walks alone. Festivity follows ritual. A child's arrival is seen as a blessing to the family and the village, a continuation of the lineage and a sign that life endures. The naming ceremony is not merely tradition, it is affirmation, a statement to the world. This soul has entered. This journey has begun. In the Igbo way of life, becoming a woman is not left to biology alone. It is prepared, mentored, and honored through a vital cultural practice, Iru Mgbede, a sacred rite of passage that marks the final phase of girlhood and the honored entry into womanhood. Observed when a girl reaches maturity, often after her first menstruation or when she is deemed emotionally ready, it is designed to prepare her not only for marriage, but for the emotional, spiritual, and communal responsibilities of adult life. She is secluded from daily village life, not as punishment, but as a retreat into focused learning and sacred privacy. During this period, she is mentored by experienced women, her mother, aunties, and often a designated elder who serves as a guide. The teachings cover every essential aspect of womanhood: personal hygiene and bodily care, home management and food preparation, the roles and responsibilities within marriage, emotional intelligence and conflict resolution, sexual education, pregnancy, and childbirth. In addition to these, practical and creative skills are passed down: bead making and hairstyling, basket weaving and mat making, embroidery and cloth weaving, advanced cooking, and food preservation techniques. These are not just crafts. They are economic tools, cultural expressions, and marks of a well-prepared woman in the eyes of the community. Nothing is hidden. Everything is sacred. Knowledge here is not theoretical. It is lived wisdom, passed from mouth to ear, from hand to hand, from heart to heart. Beyond skill and knowledge, the girl is also spiritually prepared. She is taught to revere her ancestors, honor her chi, her personal guiding spirit, and maintain spiritual cleanliness through ritual bathing and daily prayers. In a world where the physical and spiritual intertwine, a woman must know how to protect her peace and preserve her inner light. When this period of seclusion and preparation ends, the girl's transformation is announced in a symbolic and public way. She is escorted in a graceful parade to the market square, accompanied by her mother and other women of the community, carrying a basket filled with the bones of all the fish and meat she consumed during her seclusion. This basket is more than a symbol. It is a powerful declaration. She is ready to face the next stage of life, ready for marriage, ready to carry the honor of womanhood with strength and grace. The celebration, marked by song, dance, and communal feasting, is not just for her. It is for the community to witness her emergence, to say, "We see you," to affirm that she is now a woman, capable of holding a home, nurturing a lineage, and upholding the enduring values of her people. Among the Igbo, manhood is not declared by age alone. It must be earned, endured, and recognized. And no rite announces this transformation more powerfully than initiation into the masquerade cult. This is not a performance. This is identity, spirituality, and discipline woven into one sacred journey. To the ordinary eye, the masquerade may seem like just a costume. But in Igbo cosmology, it is the representation of the spirit of the ancestors made visible. It is the custodian of truth, the enforcer of moral order, and the spiritual bridge between the living and the dead. For a boy to be initiated into this sacred society is to be trusted with the hidden codes of manhood and the secrets of ancestral power. Initiation is both psychological and symbolic. The boys are taken away from the distractions of childhood into seclusion, often in the sacred forest, where teachings begin. There, they learn discipline, the laws of the land, ancestral wisdom, and the moral expectations of manhood. They learn silence, restraint, endurance. They are taught the deep meanings behind each mask, each movement, each mystery. What emerges is not a boy who merely knows more, but one who has seen the edge of fear and returned with clarity. The experience is designed to break and rebuild, to push the boy beyond physical limits and awaken mental strength. He learns to control his emotions, to understand his role in society, and to protect the values of his lineage. When he returns, he is no longer a boy asking questions. He is now expected to carry answers. The final rite is not just a return, it is a rebirth. Elders and kinsmen recognize him now as a man, a bearer of responsibility, a voice among men. And with this, he earns a new status, a new role, and a seat among those charged with safeguarding the community's sacred order.
Every bird must one day leave the nest. In Igbo tradition, that moment is not accidental. It is a rite, a declaration of readiness to carry one's own name, build one's own hearth, and continue the ancestral chain. This rite is called Ịpụ Obi. Coming out of the father's hut marks this sacred turning point from dependence to independence, from boyhood to manhood, from promise to responsibility. But not every man undergoes this rite. The first son is traditionally entrusted with the father's obi, the spiritual and social heart of the compound. The last son, in turn, inherits the mother's quarters, her hearth, and the final care of her memory. Ịpụ Obi is not just about moving out. It is about maturity, financial, physical, emotional, and spiritual. When a father sees these signs in his son, he grants him a portion of land outside the family compound. Not just soil, but the space to grow a legacy. The ceremony begins with libations to the land and prayers to the ancestors. With kola nut broken in reverence, the father blesses his son, not only with words, but with the sacred authority of generations. In the past, this was a communal effort. The sons Otu Ogbor, his age-grade peers, were central to the process. They gathered to mold walls from mud and straw, to raise thatched roofs with laughter and labor, celebrating not just a new house, but a new man. It was not just building, it was belonging. Today, the spirit remains, but the tools have changed. Cement blocks now replace clay. Zinc roofs rise where palm thatch once ruled. Iron rods now strengthen the bones of homes that must weather storms in time. And so, masons and carpenters, once peripheral, have become central. The new custodians of a tradition wrapped in concrete and steel, yet still soaked in ancestral meaning. To come out of the OB is to step into one's own orbit, to become a sun with its own pull, no longer a branch under another's shade. You now plant your own tree. And yet, one thing holds steady: the age grade, Otu Orbor, still rallies around one of their own. They may mix mortar, carry blocks, clear land, and contribute cash. Their support affirms that no man becomes a man alone. From this day, the young man is no longer a dependent voice. He is a householder, a voter in the family council, a contributor to harvests, ceremonies, and the next generation. Society expects him now to uphold his name, to marry honorably, raise children, and teach them to do the same. With his new home comes a new chapter, and as he lights his first fire in that home, he understands. Freedom, in Igbo culture, is not the absence of rules. It is the beginning of duty. In the Igbo worldview, marriage is not a private affair, it is a communal covenant. A union between two souls is also a bridge between two families, two villages, and sometimes two belief systems. The journey begins with song, wine, and rituals. But it cannot end there. Idu Ụnọ, setting up the home, is the final gesture of welcome, the communal act of rooting the newlyweds into their new life with care, support, and dignity. Idu Ụnọ is the traditional support system extended by the bride's family to the bride as she begins her own household. Though friends and the wider community may contribute, the primary responsibility lies with the bride's kin. It is not charity. It is not formality. It is an investment in the couple's future, and a reaffirmation of the communal bond that underpins Igbo life. The gifts vary, but their meanings echo the same message. You are not alone. Mats to lie on, cooking pots to feed love, buckets, clothing, even roofing sheets. And in recent times, envelopes filled with cash or bank transfers, modern offerings that echo traditional purpose. These gifts say, we trust your union. We believe in your home. May it grow. In a time when life can feel like a solitary pursuit, the Igbo idea of Idu Ụnọ reminds us that success is sweeter when shared, and burdens lighter when lifted by many hands. In traditional times, it was rare for a couple to start from zero. Today, even as lifestyles change, the spirit of Idu Ụnọ persists, in building materials, in rented trucks, in digital transfers, and in quiet words of advice. It is the cultural immune system against isolation. Modern Igbo couples may no longer build clay huts beside their father's compound, but the tradition of support, guidance, and communal investment remains vital. Whether in a remote village or a high-rise apartment in Enugu or New York, the heartbeat of Idu Ụnọ is still alive. The form may change, but the function endures, to stabilize new homes, encourage marital unity, and root the couple in the values of shared responsibility. Idu Ụnọ is not a one-time event. It is a circle. Those once helped now help others. Those who received a broom now sweep a path for the next couple. And so, community weaves itself into permanence, one household at a time. From the first breath to the first child, from the naming mat to the marital bed, the Igbo culture offers more than tradition, it offers a roadmap. Each ritual, each song, each gathering is a checkpoint on the journey of life. Not merely performed for culture's sake, but designed with purpose, ensuring that no Igbo man or woman walks life alone or unprepared. The Igbo believe that every stage of life comes with new responsibilities, and that no one should enter those stages blindly. That is why cultural practices serve as guardians of progress, bridging body and spirit, self and society, ancestry and legacy. Yes, times have changed. Zinc roofs replaced thatch. Masons now build what kinsmen once molded by hand. But beneath these changes, the values remain: discipline, maturity, responsibility. To be Igbo is not just to bear a name, it is to live in rhythm with life stages, each one echoed by a cultural rite. In a world that spins fast and forgets easily, the Igbo way reminds us. A tree without roots will sway in every storm. To preserve our heritage is to protect our identity. To understand our traditions is to understand ourselves. This is the Igbo way, rich, rhythmic, and relevant. A way that teaches. A way that prepares. A way that holds your hand, and then lets it go, when you are ready to walk alone. Not a path of perfection, but of purpose. From first cry to final breath, the Igbo tradition walks with you.